companies that we can invest in, and we identify these companies from a variety of ways. One of the ways that we are identifying good companies that we can work with and eventually invest in is through this competition called Impact Reimagined. Now, Impact Reimagined, you're very familiar with it. It's a competition that basically is looking at identifying good ideas and good companies from yourself in 6 sectors. The sectors are education, health, trade, which is access to markets for Rwandan goods. We're looking at improving housing. We're looking at improving cities, so better city living, delivery of basic services. And we're looking at improving agribusiness. So all the ideas that you have submitted collectively, they fall within one of these 6 sectors. The competition itself is not a new thing. We've run these competitions in other countries before. We've done one in Kenya in 2018. In 2019, we decided to do one in Kigali. And the one in Kigali is basically one of the biggest we've had so far. So I'm just admitting some people, and then I will go back to the presentation. So in terms of what we expect to be, the main activities of this competition were basically a request for proposal, which we floated. The competition started on 15th December. The deadline was supposed to be 31st January. But when we reached 31st January, there was a request from the participants and from the city of Kigali, who we engage with and who have endorsed this competition, to extend the deadline to the 8th of February. We extended the date to the 8th of February, and then there was a further request to say, no, we need more time. And so we extended the competition to the 28th of February. From there, we've done a long list so far, and the long list has been done very simply. We're looking at whether someone submitted their idea before the deadline, and we are looking at whether someone submitted all the documents as per the required formats. And if someone did not do this, we automatically disqualified, right? Now, this is because we have to be fair. If some of the submissions, they worked very hard to make sure they followed all the instructions, to make sure that they submit in the correct format and all the documents that are required, it would be very unfair for us to consider submissions which have not worked as hard. And so therefore, while we had very good submissions from some members, one was 12 minutes after the deadline, and it had all the documentation, so we disqualified that as per the rules. And the others did not have the complete documentation, so we disqualified those. From this point, we are establishing a panel of judges to select 16 ventures, and I'll talk a little bit more about this panel. And after the 16 ventures have been identified, what we're supposed to do is we are supposed to essentially move into the stage where we provide you with mentors and advisors to help you refine your business model and your impact model. And then after that, the competition was supposed to have a one-day event. The first half of that day was dedicated to the pitches and showcasing of the 16 ventures. And the second half of that day was dedicated to the award ceremony. After the awards, depending on the quality of the companies at that point, there was further incubation. There was the possibility of matchmaking and international trips. And there was the possibility of accessing short-term and long-term financing. The awards themselves, there are cash prizes and non-cash prizes. So out of the 16, the top 3 would win some money. And these amounts are very clear on the website in terms of what to be expected. Right? Now with coronavirus, if you look at this slide, we are affected. We are affected on item 3, 4, and 5. We think we have a model to continue with item 3, but if the government regulations in terms of social distancing and self-incubation are to be followed in Rwanda, we will not be able to meet as a group at the location that we had said we would meet, which is at Gikondo KK 31 Avenue. Because we cannot meet as a group, I consulted with the Vice Mayor, City of Kigali, Vice Mayor, Socio-Economic Affairs, and her advice was, once we reach point 4, we wait and see what the government advises, because it would be better to actually have these interactions in person rather than online. So at this point, what we propose to do is to do item number 2, which is to establish the panel of judges. They can do their work remotely. The judges have been identified, 2 judges from the side of the City of Kigali and 2 judges from our side. And they would be able to select the 16 ventures by the first week of April. And we are trying very hard to do it by the 31st of this month. We will see if that is possible. But latest, within the first week of April, the 16 ventures would have been identified. And then we will do item 3, which is the improvement of the business model and the impact model. Again, this is very easy to do remotely, just the way we are connecting. We can create a timetable where with each team from this 16, we connect and we work with them for 1-2 hours, give them some work to go do on their own and connect them again, and work through defining their business model and impact model so that we can be continuing this competition. So having said that, the key dates now are December to end of February. We've already gone through that. The proposals have been there. 28 applications were made, 5 were disqualified, so we have 23. From 1st March to 15th March, we identified these 23. From 15th March to 31st March, or possibly the first week of April, we will have the selection of the top 16. From the 1st April to the 15th April, we will do the online mentoring for business model and impact model through Zoom. And we will then wait and see, based on the advice from the City of Kigali, what we need to do in terms of actually doing the demos, the pitches, and actually making sure that we interact in person, given the guidelines from the government of Rwanda. So that is it from our side. Just to give you an idea of what the judging criteria for this 16 is. So right now we have 23 ventures. These 4 judges will consider these following elements to make sure that we select the top 16. We will look at the team, right? You have identified your team, which is consisting of between 2 to 4 members. We will look at the soundness of the business model and the impact model. This is within the slide presentation that you already gave us. We will look at the execution plan and the financials. Again, this is information you have provided within your slides. We will look at the impact, and we will look at the screening, the quality of writing, the structure, sequencing of ideas, and so on and so forth. So up to this point, we will be able to do very quickly using the 4 judges. We will not be able to proceed to the demos and pitches because of the restrictions that are placed on us by the government of Rwanda on coronavirus. So we will have to wait and see. But we will be able to engage with the 16 ventures to work with them on their business model and on their impact model. Right? So this is where we are. And I think that's the update of what we're doing, where we are, the next steps, how we identify the top 16, and what the restrictions upon us are in terms of the coronavirus not allowing us to meet. So what I will do right now is, if you have any questions, I will open up the floor for discussions so that we can answer your questions and engage with you to understand how we can move forward together. If you allow me also, I think I have a number of participants I have to admit. I will just admit them, and then I will go back to the video so that you can see who you are talking to. Yeah. But thank you very much. Yeah. So open for questions now. Hello, do we have any questions? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, are there any questions? Hello, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, maybe we do it this way. Let me just call out a name one by one and see if there's any question. That way we will move faster. Is that okay? So I will start with you, Pierre. Is there any questions, any clarification?
So for me, I wanna ask how the panel and the database have been made at Zoom or on the ground.
Okay, so at this point, that's a very good question. We have 4 judges. 2 are from our side, 2 are from the city of Kigali. I will email them every document that you have provided us with the criteria that they're supposed to evaluate.
Okay.
Each judge will evaluate independently, and then we will have a Zoom call where the judges will come together and discuss the results. And from there, we will communicate the results of the top 16. I hope that's clear. Right? Maybe I give the next question to Erast Rurangwa. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to ask? I think we've... Erast, we cannot hear you. I can see you talking.
I think everything is clear. Hello?
Sorry.
Hello, yes, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Yes, yeah, I'm saying that everything is clear. No question.
Okay, that's good. So we'll move to Safari, Eric. Safari,
Yes.
do you have any comment, any questions?
I think according to the slide that have been talked to you, is somehow clear. According to the long distance for using Zoom, that is somehow challenging for somebody who are coming to that, and we would like to know. We would like to know if all the things is set and we can team with the meeting, and you can get all the documents to the WhatsApp group.
Yes, we will share all the documents on the website, Facebook group, and on the WhatsApp group. So if you have not signed up to the Facebook group, please sign up as soon as possible. Yeah, I'll go to Sandrine Zero. Any comment, any questions?
Hello, I don't have any questions for this moment.
Thank you so much. Calix, any questions?
Hello?
No? Okay. So I think we're having the quiet people now. I'll go back to the earlier mode. Anyone with a question? So that we can move fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Start
good.
one by one, please.
May I ask?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Athman. I would like to know if we should continue to use this platform of Zoom, if this difficult situation continues, and I would like to know your plan B.
Okay, that's a good question. So after the
Can you hear
judges,
me?
yes, we can hear. So after the judges identify the my suggestion is that we work with each team by themselves on Zoom, and we work like this to actually improve the business model and to improve the impact model together. There will be some work that you have to do. And
sorry, I'm sorry, I can't hear you well because the connectivity internet is a problem, but you can come again a little bit.
okay, sorry. And if you can't hear me this time, in the interest of time, we will answer these questions and email them as well. But what we are saying is we will be able to work with team independently to improve their business and impact model, but we will not be able to meet as a group until the government of Rwanda gives us that.
That's clear.
Next question. Maybe we take a few more questions.
Okay. I'm already asking.
Ask, sir.
Still have another question.
Yes. May I ask?
Okay, please. Let's keep it to one question at a time, and then we will come back because we are many of us, colleagues. Yeah, so I'll come back to you later. But the next person, please ask your question.
May I come? May I ask?
Yes, please. Yes, please, Darius.
Hello.
Darius.
Hello. My name is Darius.
Yes.
And, thank you for this platform. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm telling you, thank you for this platform. It's a little bit having this conversation and asking for. The problem is, you know, you gave us the deadline for those 16 chosen ventures. Whereby it will end up with that first this month. And I would like to know if any group can will be changed their content. For us, we have adding, we have more some new or supportive thing to what we submit. So I would like to ask if
okay.
If in the next stage, if we will allow to add so much more to make this ventures here and so quality.
Yes, that is a good question. Now, at this point, you cannot change anything until the top 16 is identified, right? So at this point, you do not send us anything, we will not consider it. But if you are part of the top 16 and we start working with you on the business model, then you will be able to submit additional material as long as your idea is not changing completely. Right, so we are not introducing a completely new idea.
Yeah,
If you have
yes,
supporting materials when we are working, please, for the others, please, let's keep the background noise a little bit low because it's interrupting with the discussion. But maybe I will jump with to Abraham now. You've had your hand up for a long time. Abraham.
Sir, one question.
Regarding if this
I have a
meeting,
question.
One question, sir.
Yes, Abraham, please go ahead.
I'm Safadek. I'm from Aquasaf.
Sorry, is this Abraham? Because I think if it's not, we wait for Abraham. And then...
I think.
May I ask a question?
Yes, please, Abraham, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I didn't hear very well this conversation because there is but I just want to know about the next step. If someone 16 group that will be selected, I would like to know about the plan that you show us on the document that there is some trip outside of Rwanda, and the proposal for the day. I
Yes.
would like to know how you propose that they will get out as long as we still have the problem of coronavirus.
Yeah,
I think the plan
that is
will meet with some that.
That is a good question, Abraham. Anything that requires us to congregate as a group or to travel out of the country is not possible right now because the government of Rwanda has closed all the borders, all the airports, and has restricted us from leaving our home. So what we will do is we will do the selection of the top 16 and we will work online, hoping that we get better internet. Work with you on your business model and impact model while we wait for further guidance from the government of Rwanda and of Kigali on what we can do. If in the next 2 weeks the government of Rwanda say it's okay, you can all continue meeting, we will immediately start our meetings at Gikondo. And if the government of Rwanda says yes, people can travel in and out of Rwanda, we will immediately start that at the right stage, right? So everything now on coronavirus, we have to comply with the directives from the city of Kigali and the government of Rwanda. There's nothing we can do. Otherwise, we are breaking the law and we will all be arrested.
Yeah.
You know how serious it is. So we try and avoid that. Yeah? So there was someone who had a question after Abraham.
Okay.
Please ask.
I'm Safadek.
Yes.
I'm sorry, because is according to the problem because of the coronavirus, I think the presentation will be the individual one because our group, we are separate in different locations. So I would like to know if the one will be presenting the
That's another good question. Now, the guidance from the Vice Mayor Economic Affairs was that we stop that phase because she would like it to be an interactive in-person session, not online. Because as you can see, we are having challenges connecting. Now you can imagine if someone is doing a demonstration or a pitch of the idea, how difficult it can get if our internet connectivity is like this. So, and again, so what we will do is we will work with the 4 judges until 31st of March to identify top 16. We will work with those top 16 online until the 15th of April. I think that gives us enough time to see the direction and the guidance from the government of Rwanda with regards to coronavirus. And I'm sure by that time, maybe a solution would have been found, which will enable us to have the demos at Gikondo as we have planned, where we have the center already prepared for the groups to come and present. So what I would say is let's take it step by step, one step at a time. The first step is let the judges select the top 16. The next step is for the top 16 to work on an individual basis online to improve their business model and impact model. And the third step is to wait for guidance from the government of Rwanda to see if we can actually do this presentation and pitches in person. Yeah, so this is the plan, and I'll keep you updated as we go along. Thank you for that. Can we take another question from someone who's been very quiet? Any other question that is very different from what has been asked?
May I ask?
Yes. I have another.
I have a question.
Yes. Is it Yomo Gisha? Who is speaking, please?
My name is Rakim. I have a question. I have seen your agenda. There is a presentation and demos.
Yeah, I've just answered that question. So what I'll do is, instead of repeating myself,
Are you here?
yeah, hello, I'm saying on the demo and presentation, I've answered that question. So instead of answering it many times, please allow me to send an email out, which will have the answer to that. But the short answer is, anything that requires us to meet in person will not be possible, so the demo will not be possible until further guidance from the government. Yeah. Next question, please.
May I ask? I have a question, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I would like also to ask this the key point, like the you are going to consider this. You're saying the impact model. I was thinking maybe it is the critical slide that you are going to look at. If you have this point are going to consider at the high level than others for you to choose those 16 ventures that we are going to be in the next stage.
No, all the criteria is being considered on an equal basis. Our belief is that, sometimes you might have a good impact model, but if you don't have a profit model that can sustain the impact, then your company will not survive.
Yes.
So we are going to look at all the bullet points that I showed you on an equal basis. From the team, the business model, the impact model, the financial.
Based on the slide.
Yeah. So everything on that slide that you prepared will be looked at on equal weight. There's no part which is more important than the other. All of them are of equal weight. And I will share the criteria with all of you as well, so that you're aware of how we're looking at those. Thank you for that. Next question.
Yeah, I have.
Yes, please go ahead, Khalid.
I would like you to present as a slide showing the follow-up of the follow-up of the aligned competition. How will it going on?
Yeah, let me put that slide back so that we look. I'm hoping you can see this. So the key dates, we've already done number 1, which is the request of proposal. We've already done number 2, which is the long listing of the 23, which is already there. And now, between now and the 31st of March, we'll look at the top 16 by the judges. And from 1st April to 15th April, instead of doing this incubation support in person, we will do it online. Zoom support, right? And then from 15th April, it will be clear what we need to do, because by this point, we haven't done any demos on pitches because we cannot do because of coronavirus. So what we will do is 15th April, as we go along that date, we will know how to handle that, and then we will do the announcement and go forward. But this is the plan in brief. Okay. And I will share this with you, so don't worry, you will have this in your emails so that it's very clear. And if you have any other question, you can ask me. Next question, please.
Okay, and so what do you mean with demo on the pitches? Because the last time we are not allowed to. It is not required to make the video.
Yes.
One like demo on the pitches, like on the
Yes.
15th.
So the pitch will not be a video. If you have done a video by now, that is very good. If you have not, do not worry. The demo and pitch is just a presentation. So as we work with you on your business model, we will also be teaching you on how to present the panel judging. So one day you will come after the coronavirus is resolved. You come to the Tondo. You will do a presentation with your team to the judges. It will be a physical presentation.
It's like a presentation or
yes. It's like presentation, and you will be asked questions and you answer, and you will get us. Right? So it's very different from the video. Again, please, ladies, gentlemen, please minimize the background noise so that we can proceed. Yeah, I think there's Safari Eric. There's a bit of.
We will share those.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Hello, Safari Eric. There's background noise, so I'm going to put you on mute. Yeah. Okay, please go ahead. Another question.
Hello. Can I
we cannot hear you. We have about 6 minutes left to the end of this session, so please let's make it useful. Who has a question? They want to go ahead and ask.
Can I ask?
Yes, please, go ahead.
So my question is concerned to the participation.
Yes.
If we'll be present or one can present.
Sorry, you're breaking off. Please repeat your question.
So my question goes to the participation of group.
Yes.
Separated in different areas, and because of fear of coronavirus, we can't get together. So how can?
So again, this is a question on the demo and the presentations. As I advised, the demo and presentations will not happen until we get clearance from the city of Kigali. What will happen right now is for us working with you to actually improve your models online in anticipation of the presentation. So I will share the email as well. Okay. So yes, so just because I have many questions, if we can, someone think who is really mute them. Please, apologies, but you're disrupting the meeting.
The disturbance.
Yeah, Safari Eric, please keep your microphone muted because there's a lot of background on your noise on your side. So please keep it muted. There are a lot of questions that I'm facing here around whether we will share the documents. We will share the documents after this meeting, so please do not feel like you will not have adequate information. The other thing that we will do is if you need to reach out for any further information, you still have the WhatsApp group, you still have Lambe's number, and you can reach out on email as well. and we will try as much as possible to answer your questions. So do not feel like you're not going to have all this information. You will get all this information with you so that you can go through it at your time and also ask us a lot of questions going forward. Yeah. So we have 3 minutes left. Anyone else who would like some sort of clarity, which is not about the demo and presentation, but about the selection of the top 16 and the judges, please ask your question.
Maybe, like, I'm wondering,
Yes,
I'm still
yes.
wondering.
Is it Modest or Darius who was speaking?
I'm Darius.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, like I'm wondering, what we are expecting on the 16th that we are being chosen. So what we can do now, it is almost be patient and stay with the information you are preparing for us. And I think it is clear that when after this top 16, after we will be in the next stage, but meanwhile I think everything is clear for me.
Okay,
And
thank you. Yeah, and I think Darius, that is correct. So this is what I would like to summarize before we leave. Yeah, between now and the 31st of
I also have a.
Okay, Calix, I'll give you a chance. Let me summarize this, and then I'll give you the last chance, and then we'll close the session. So between now and 31st of March, you have to be patient because the 4 judges will be going through your documentation, what you have submitted so far, to select the top 16. The top 16 will be announced on the 31st of March or latest within the first week of April. Depending on how things go. We will try as much as possible to announce the top 16 by 31st of March, if not within the first week of April. With that announcement, we will also say what the next steps are. Right? To this top 16, we will tell you exactly what you need to do. And one of the things that you will need to do is to prepare as a team to engage with us online like this. We will be fewer numbers, right? To just your team and ourselves to look at your business model, improve it, and then we will look at the impact model and improve it. This will take us until the 15th of April. By that time, we hope that we will have enough guidance from the City of Kigali and the government of Rwanda on whether we can do the presentations. And once we do the presentations, we do the awards. And if we can travel, then we arrange the travel. This is the plan. So Calix, please ask your question, and then we will wrap up for now and take it forward. Yeah, Calix.
Yeah, my question was to know any kind what is the contribution as the participants we are going to contribute to this meeting or to judges for them to select the top 16 participants?
So you cannot contribute to the judges because that will be something that is called canvassing or influencing judges. At this point, you just wait. The judges have been selected. They are very objective, very qualified judges. In fact, some of them are in the meeting listening in, but they're not saying anything. But you will not know who they are. And we don't want you to know who they are. You will only know who they are the day you come to do a presentation, so that we can keep it very objective, so that no one can say, oh, this one met the judge, this one knows the judge, and so on and so forth. So bear with us. Just be aware that there are 4 judges, and these 4 judges, 2 are from our side, 2 are from the City of Kigali. They will look and identify the 16, and then after that, when it's time for presentations, you will because they will be sitting in front of you. Yeah. So this is the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I have to wrap this up now. If there's any further burning question, any further clarification that you need, we still have the WhatsApp group. Please ask your question there. Please sign up on the please sign up on the Facebook group. That is very, very important because it's a criteria that will be evaluated. We need all of you on the Facebook group. So if you don't know how to do that, reach out, ask Lambe, and they will assist you to actually sign up on that group. All future communication will continue from that group where all documents and all materials will be shared. So with that, I need to thank you. I need to thank Rwanda and the city of Kigali for their continued support. And really, I need to thank you as participants for your continued engagement, enthusiasm, even within this Corona environment that we're in. Please have no doubt that this competition will proceed, and it will proceed to its conclusion. Any challenges we face along the way, we will handle with you. Feel free to ask any question anytime. It is very transparent, and we will see how we get from there. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So I will switch off the meeting now, and this evening we will prepare the documentation to send. Please expect it by tomorrow morning to be in your email, the ones that you use to submit. At the same email that we will share all the information with you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.